Hey everyone, Logan Clampitt here. First and foremost, thank you guys for tuning into this. This is something new that I will be doing weekly with William Barron Esports. It will consist of an in-depth run on a hot lap for A Fixed, B Fixed, C Fixed, and NiS Fixed. Also, I'll be starting on my own organization called Logan Clampitt Racing, which I'm really excited about. That will mainly consist of one-on-one coaching for now. You get to choose the car track combo, along with if you want to learn something on a custom fixed setup for maybe a league or custom weather. There will be more info about it in the description down below, along with a Google Docs sheet that you'll be able to fill out, which will include scheduling, which car track combo you want to run, and if you want custom weather or a custom fixed setup, maybe for, again, like a league or something. It'll start out at $40 per hour, and for every 3 hours you'll get the 4th hour half off. And each coaching session will be provided with basic tips and in-depth analysis, comparisons to me, and a Q&A. Anyways, enjoy this first video of the oval fixed hot lap analysis. Alright, so here we are in a C Fixed session at Chicagoland Speedway. So we got 114 track temp this week, nice and slick. I like that. So 114 track temp, default weather. I used 50% on this. Should roughly be around the same times, but my best time is going to be in 075, 31.075. This week I'm going to be using a 16:1 steering ratio, 0 offset. Brake bias, I mean, you're not really going to be using the brakes, but I left it at 62.5%. That's default. So let's get into it. So I found out that your second lap is going to be just a little bit faster than your first. So on your first lap here, pretty simple. You're just gonna want to run third lane here. Alright, so here we are, coming to our green flag lap, first lap. You're gonna want to run this third lane right here in turns 1 and 2, third lane in 3 and 4 as well. Usually I like to stay up by the wall entering the corner just to carry that momentum that maybe hundreds or thousands coming to take the green flag. Out of turn 4, bring it up to the wall, all the way down, and bring it to that white line. Don't go on the apron. Right here, as you can see, I'm not going on the apron at all. If you touch that apron just a little bit, it's gonna scrub just a tad bit of speed. So here we are, entering turn 1. What I'm looking at is right around this area right now. So you're gonna want to bring it all the way up to the wall right here. A big mistake is that I don't see people using the whole track. Usually they'll leave like half a car width or something like that, and bringing it up to the wall can carry that momentum, especially when it's full throttle like it is this week on a hot lap at least. So bring it up all the way up to the wall here. Usually my turn-in spot is going to be at this safer barrier right here. Give it a pretty decent arc. And now what I'm looking at is this little area right here. This is my apex to this corner. So usually I'll get the truck down right there, right either at this dashed line right here, or when it turns white right here, which I did. Here, I'll go to this angle as well for you guys. So I got it all the way down. This is my apex right here. My lowest point is right at that white line when it becomes solid right there. So take a look here. Then at turn 4, you're gonna want to come up carrying that momentum. You don't want to crank the wheel off turn 2. That's gonna ruin your momentum and everything. You want the wheel smooth, and you want the truck to just kind of carry itself out of the corner here. So bring it all the way up to the wall, down the back straightaway. Now what I'm looking at is kind of around this area. My turn-in area isn't at the safer barrier this corner. I turn in maybe just a little bit lower, or a little bit earlier. So I turn in just a little bit earlier, maybe around this light right here. And what I'm looking at now is you got 3 little indents here at this track. That's what I see at this track, at least. And that really helps me, at least. You can see this little white line right here. That's your first one. This is your second one, where this little white dashed line is. And then this is your third one, kind of right before. You can kind of see it just curve. That's what I see, at least. So on this first one right here, yeah, on this first one right here, I'm not all the way down by it, because if you get to that third one, your truck is going to be way up the track. You're not going to be carrying momentum exiting the corner. So I'm just a little bit lower right here, and then a little bit lower at the second one right here. Not all the way on it though, not all the way on it. And then this third one, I actually might have hit the apron just a little bit on my lap here. Actually, I didn't. I thought I did, but I'm right on the white line on that third one. So I'll replay it here for you guys. First, second, third, right on it. And then I kind of, usually what I do at this track, at least, and I've seen some consistency in it. On this third one, I'll tend to turn the wheel a little bit more, but it's just all the feel, I guess, in it. So at a turn 4, like I said before, you want to carry that momentum. So let the truck kind of carry itself out. I don't carry it out all the way to the wall, just because I know I'm going to drop down onto the apron right here. So I'll come up maybe roughly half a truck width off on a hot lap, at least. In the race, I'll probably be all the way up against that wall exiting turn 4. But this just carries the momentum just a little bit better. Let the truck carry itself down to the apron here, all the way down to this yellow line, and then across the finish line. And especially this week, my wheel inputs, you can see maybe just a little bit. I could see visually the truck sliding a little bit, so it's going to be just a little bit loose, especially on a hot lap. So you're going to want to keep that feel, you know, your comfortable line and everything. Whatever is fastest for you is going to be best, obviously. But obviously, having time with this, I can feel out where the truck is getting sideways and whatnot, and I can kind of correct it to where I can carry that momentum out. But I'd say this week it's going to be a little loose, maybe a little bit looser longer run is my guess. I haven't done a long run, but it should be fun. Full throttle. You're not going to want to be full throttle the whole entire run. That's going to kill your tires a bunch. So usually maybe around lifting off to half throttle, entry to center to the corner maybe is going to be best. So that's what's going to happen this week, and that is a hot lap at Chicagoland Speedway in the truck for NiS Fixed this week. Alright, so here we are, Martinsville, be fixed. Gonna be sort of a night race, it looks like, which is super awesome. I got 78 track temp, pretty cool out. Got default weather. I'm using 50% usage for this track state at least. In the garage here, what I'm gonna be using is 12 to 1, 6 to 1, or not 6 to 1, 6 offset, and 64 brake bias, which the only thing I really changed in the fixed setup was 64 brake bias. I think it was originally at 62.5. So let's get into the lap here. So I hit a 262. The replay you did see was a 295, which was maybe a little bit smoother, but we'll take a look at both. So coming to the line here, you're going to want to shift. I think throughout the whole entire race, at least that's what I'm going to do. Because I feel like I can probably conserve the rear tires with how tight it is. So that's what I'm going to do at least. But if you're not comfortable doing that, I also have a lap where I didn't shift. So you are going to want to try and shift on your outlap here to carry the momentum at a turn 4 at least. So here's what I'm looking at entering turn 1. I'm looking at this little gray area right here. When I get close to it, I start braking. That's my braking point at least. We can take a look here where I do actually brake. So I start lifting, I start braking right kind of at the end of that Cup Series logo. So that's a pretty good braking marker for a lot of you, I'd say. You can probably brake maybe a little bit before it if you want, maybe right here. But anyways, head into turn 1. I see people really arcing it into turn 1 right here. I don't like to do that personally. I like to enter in straight, get the car slowed down. I downshift right here, just a little blip of the gas. I diamond it, come out straight, roll onto the throttle slowly, and then I get full throttle when that wheel is straight. So let's take a look here. So I get to that first apex right there, get it right down to that curb, slide up just a little bit, you don't want to slide it up too much, then out of the corner, bring it right back down once the car settles. And what I mean by that is when the car starts turning down, you can see it right about here. I know that the car is settled and that I need to get onto the throttle, and I do. Roll back onto it. Alright, entering this corner right here. I look at the shaded area. There aren't many braking points in this corner especially. You could use the Cup Series logo right here if you want, and brake a little bit after it if you'd like, but I usually like to brake whenever I see that little shade of rubber right there. So hit the brake right here, about half. Enter in straight again, kind of aiming right here to that first apex. Get the car turned, shift down, and actually this was a little bit rough because I think I almost hit that curb. This was a bit of a lucky lap, but turn it in. First apex, let it slide up. Once the car settles, I was kind of on the brake for a little bit there. Once the car settles, get back out to the throttle at a turn 4. Checkered flag. And notice that in each corner, I'm just slowly getting off the brake to when the car settles. This corner, I did let it roll just a little bit longer than turn 3 and 4. On the brake, get the car settled right onto the gas. Take a look at this 26 right here. Kind of the same thing. Let it roll onto the throttle. This was a little bit more smooth entering here. I think I arced it just a little bit more on this lap in 3 and 4. And you can see right here, compared to the 29 I showed you guys, I let it roll just a little bit longer here because I think I drove it in a little bit too deep, a little bit too straight on that 29. Non-shifting lap, the car is going to be very, very tight. So you're going to want to get it slowed down. I use a lot more brake here. Got it locked up a little bit. Carried the momentum up, slid it up just a little bit more. And then I hit the throttle a little bit more. Got a little bit loose there. Same thing here. On the brake hard. Gotta crank that sucker to the left to get it to turn. Then you gotta hit the gas real hard. And that's a hot lap at Martinsville. Alright, so here we are for A Fixed and NiS Fixed at Martinsville. This will be the same exact weather, both A Fixed and NiS Fixed. Got 78 track temp, it's 750. For the Cup car here, I am using 12-to-1, 3 offset with 65 brake bias. Pretty much everything is left at default. So let's get right into it. So I got my 958 right here. I'll go look at my 982. It's a little bit smoother to kind of go off of. So let's get into it. So in 3 and 4 here, like always, you're gonna want to downshift, then try and carry that momentum off the corner, coming to the start-finish line. And again, just like B Fixed, I'm kind of looking at this area right here where the rubber is, but you could always use the Cup Series logo to brake. So right here, unlike the B car I'm braking way back here, but the Cup car I'm braking way after this this logo right here. So a good braking marker would maybe be this Cup logo down here if you don't want to use the rubber like I use. But hard braking, unlike the B car, it's not as easy to lock up. So get it right down to the bottom here, right by that curb. And I'm pretty on the brake here for a while. And you don't have to shift either, which is great. I really like that because the RPMs are just a little bit higher than the B car. So brake, try and get it slowed down all the way to the center. Let the car set just about right there. Car starts turning down. I get onto the gas. Slowly, car straightens out. The wheel straightens out. Full throttle. Down the back straightaway. Same thing. I'm kind of looking at this shaded area again. There's not really a good braking point to go off of. If you don't go off of that, maybe a distance afterwards or whatnot. Usually after the Cup Series logo, I'm braking way after it. There's no really great braking point to go off of, but hard on the brakes again. Get it right down to that curb. Kind of get off the brakes. See how my peak brake is right there, and I never get more onto it. I usually just slowly get off and then slowly roll onto the throttle, back into it. And that's a lap for A Fixed at Martinsville. Thank you guys once again for tuning in. Like I said before, this is all super exciting to hopefully be able to help you guys week to week. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button down below. Also, check out our social media pages at Logan Clampitt _ and at WB Esports on Twitter and Instagram. And I hope to see you guys next week.